Hey, welcome to the 5 a.m. Mester Scrum Show. I am Greg Mester, Scrum Master and Agile Coach. And I want to talk to today. I was reading Dan Martell's book, Buying Back Your Time, and I'm thinking about how I apply it to myself, but also how I apply it to teams, Scrum teams, or teams I coach in ways they can be more productive or make their lives less cumbersome with things. Because I had a text the other day, and he was talking about reserving time and all. I got a text like it's immediate notice, and then after that, I replied, it's like, "Oh, let's meet and talk about it," and then I didn't hear nothing. So I wonder how urgent it really was and how serious it was. Apparently, it was serious, but they didn't want to follow up on it. So we'll see. But made me wonder, how do you do this with a team? And part of it is set up team time. I want to talk about how you would go about that. There's pluses and minuses. Why you don't want to do or why doing what Dan says as a team individually and here a couple here and there may cause more harm than good, though it's still good if you can. But we'll go into that today. And this is the 5 a.m. Mester Scrum Show, and I'm Greg Mester, Scrum Master and Agile Coach. And on these Wednesdays, and this is the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, so I want to do a show. I didn't do it this morning because at 6 a.m. this morning, I had jackhammers going on, and they were tearing up the street right outside the window, and it wasn't going to work. And they did that for a few hours until about 11. Then I had to do some errands, and then they came back and did it again. So now it's kind of quiet. I think they're done for the day for the holiday. So we do this show so we can help you bring value to your customer, not work crazy hours to bring that value to the customer, and have a little fun a long way and not stress out. I mean, the holidays are here and everybody's kind of stressy, crazy. So I want to share some of these thoughts. So Dan Martell talks about using your calendar, set times, like, using the admin to do certain things. And I'm going to kind of talk about that as a team. How does a team do this as a part of a Scrum team or any team? Sorry about that. I had a little break there. Broke down. So what he suggests, like, use your calendar. Like if you're going to be looking at emails or doing certain things, you set a time in your day to do that. And when you're not, and then you set time to do your work, right? Be very effective in what you're doing and live by your calendar. And I was thinking, well, how would you do that as a team? Because this is the bad part. If you apply kind of what he's saying as an individual in a team, like I was a member of a team and I said, hey, I'm only checking emails from 2 to 3 or from 9 to 9:30 just before daily Scrum, and then I'm going to do my work, and then I'll come back on after lunch and this. But you're the only one on the team doing it. It's going to cause all kinds of miscommunications, right? Because if Greg is doing it, but Jim, Bob, or Jane is not doing it, and people come in and email and text the team and they get responses, then Greg might get punished because Greg's not as responsible as everyone else on the team because they're all responding all together. So you are not as strong to do that if you don't do it as a team. And what I'm suggesting here is, as a coach or a member of a team, that the whole team set up these communication scheduled times and communication times, all agree on when they're going to do it. So this way, if everyone on the team agrees, they're going to check emails from 9 till 9:30 or whatever in the morning. We do it in the morning, we do it in the afternoon, and before we go away, though I really wouldn't bother checking emails. Maybe if it's an emergency. Anyway, twice a day or whatever, so you can do your work, because it takes time to really focus and be creative, especially when we're solving complex problems, whether it be sales, marketing, coding, managing, whatever, working any kind of complex thing. It takes good quality time, and every time you break away from that, and that's what he says in his book, you become less efficient and you don't get as much done. So you have to group as a team, because people on the outside are going to see all these issues. Now, one of the areas, like tomorrow is our Thursday, but that's Thanksgiving, so I don't know if I'm going to do it. But one of the roles is Scrum Master. So here's the scenario how you set this up. And it takes a little bit of effort to get there. It ain't going to get there overnight. I'll tell you that right now. You establish a communication pattern that you let everyone know, all your stakeholders, people know. Look, if it's really, so we're going to put this time where I'm not going to reply for emails, and everyone agrees to it. And you have to stay strong It's hard. Everybody wants, I want to do it. I want to do it. I want to answer you, but don't answer. Ignore it. Put your, as he says, on your phone, put your notifications on silent so you can focus on what you're doing ahead of time. So these are all tips coming out of his book, Buy Back Your Time by Dan Martell. And he says, yeah, put it on silent notification so you can just do what you're doing. And when I can do it, I'm very productive. When I don't do it, I'm very not productive. Between emails and texts and the wife and this and that. Oh, while you're home, go do this. Or while you're there, do this, do this. It's just one of those things that happens. So when you do that as a group, you're much stronger because people all realize that the whole team has certain times when they respond. This way, they're not wasting their time because I think other people appreciate it. They know you only do it. I'm not going to send you an email like all through the day, and I'm not going to expect, and I want you to know that I'm not expecting a reply, and I'm going to de-stress because, I'm looking for a reply. I'm looking for a reply. No, I'm going to send it to you. I know you don't reply. You only do replies and emails like between 9:30 and 10 or after lunch or just before you leave or something like that. So I might send you something, but I'm not expecting a reply. And this de-stresses your stakeholders, de-stresses the people on the team. See how that kind of works? Now, here's a offshoot. Let's say, but what about emergency stuff, Greg? What stuff's broken or production's broken? Well, here's my thing. If it's an emergent thing that really needs to be done, copy the Scrum Master. Everyone design their team so that the Scrum Master is kind of like your super executive admin. And I'm not saying that I have more credit for admins, man. They do everything, keep us able to focus on what we're doing. If you read his book, he's talking about the admins, that took care of everything, and so that the people can focus on where they make the most money for the company. They don't make the most money from the company by monitoring HR or emails or monitoring miscellaneous emails that pop through the minutia, right? But your Scrum Master is kind of like your executive admin in a way where you set it up where if it's important and you really need us to do it, copy the Scrum Master. Scrum Master can then make the decision. This is where we do that role thing on Thursdays, which we may not do tomorrow. The Scrum Master can decide on what's important for the team. They can say, oh, yeah, production down. Okay, guys, we're breaking our normal time, and I'm going to let you know production's down. I need someone to volunteer to go do something, right? And they'll find ways. They'll Slack them, text them, whatever. They got their phones. We may have their phone numbers. They can text. We need to hit this issue because production's down or something's really important. Or they say, hey, yeah, this is something that needs to be done, but we don't need to look at it until later in the day. Or the Scrum Master's job is to alert you when things are urgent and when they're not. And if it's anybody else, you just ignore it, right? Maybe you only turn notifications on from your Scrum Master, right? If I get a notification from this, put it up, pop it up. Anybody else, don't pop it up. And you can do this in email. You can do this in Slack to turn off notifications. I know in email you can actually turn them off for like individual stuff and stuff like that, and only pop up for certain people. You make some rules and things like that. So there's that possibility. But this way, the team is in a very productive mode. You all agree on when these stop times or start times are. They all look good together. There's not one of these things. Oh, this person's more responsible. Yeah, but they ain't getting squat done. They may be the most responsible. Oh, I got your email. Great. Problem is, nobody's doing any work. They're all answering emails all day. See, we're not getting the productivity that we want from the teams, right? So in his book, he talks about that from a CEO, manager, entrepreneur way. You don't answer that. Maybe you hire executive admin to check for that stuff. But you don't monitor it all day. You turn off notification. The same goes for the team. So I wanted to share that as an idea. But you got to modify it because like this, you can't have Jane do it on her restrictive things, and then Greg's not doing it. So now Greg looks more reactive and more customer centric than Jane does, or vice versa, or Greg does it and Jane doesn't do it, or Bob does it and nobody else does it. So he looks like he's not responding and he's not responsive to questions from the stakeholders. But as a team, as a whole, this is where we got to do some team stuff. It's more solid. They understand it. And also, like I said, The stakeholder appreciates it because here's my thing. This is why I do daily scrums and certain things at the same time every day, every week, every on a clock working on thing. And I haven't done the show in that way. I apologize for that, but it's kind of up and down and what's available, especially when they're doing jackhammering outside the window. When you have a cadence, people appreciate it because they don't have to think about it, right? Is Greg's time this? Is Jane's time this? Is Bob's time this? Is Mary Sue's time this, right? When they can communicate, just get rid of all that variability and just pick a time as a team. Hey, if you want to email anybody on a team from 9 to 9:30 before we go in daily scrum, I recommend sending an email to them at that time because they're in there reading their stuff, making sure they got. So when we go in a daily scrum, we plan our day, see if there's anything coming up that we need to know about. And then we check, as a group, we check it in at noon. And then if you really need somebody to do something, send a copy or send it to the Scrum Master and let the Scrum Master know. And the Scrum Master's job will be prioritize it with the work that's in there today. Is it really enough? Or maybe there's someone he or she will know that's going to get done a little earlier, and you can go directly instead of going to Bob busy, right? But Jimmy Boy over here or Jane or Jill over here has less stuff that day. And the Scrum Master can say, hey, you know what? You want this done? I'll let them know at lunchtime that, hey, can you take on this because this is important and Bob is busy, right? So see how that works? You get what you want. The stakeholder gets some acknowledgement. The Scrum Master does their job, acts as an executive, admin, things like that to clear the runway so the team can be the most effective and get a response that you need. Because maybe you send it to Bob. Bob's busy. Bob's got a list of stuff, and he's got stuff. Let's say the CEO gave him the other day or gave the team, and he's working on it because maybe he knows everything there is to know about the system. But you're upset because Bob can't answer. Well, the Scrum Master's job and the team's job is don't give it to Bob. Figure out who on the team is available to do the work, right? So establishing these team boundaries, these team times helps everyone in the long run. So you can apply what Dan Martell is talking about, prioritizing living by your calendar, turning off notifications, but you all as a team have to do it to be the most effective possible. Otherwise, you think about, I think I was watching some things like Roman battles or something like that, and you have these legion, they march into stuff. Well, when the cracks form is because somebody did their own little thing, and that's when the enemy comes in and blows you up from behind, right? Same thing applies from a team, a communication perspective. If you think you're all being productive, but then a couple of people in the team break ranks and go running off somewhere, well, guess what? You're now going to all fall apart. You're going to be less productive as a whole because you're all complaining about Greg. He went off and answered a question for someone. We all agreed we weren't going to do that. We're going to let the Scrum Master do that. Greg, why are you doing that? Right? So those are the kind of things you got to think about. So think about establishing some team times when you want to respond, how you want to respond. Tell the Scrum Master, get off their tail, and communicate this information to all the stakeholders. How to do it, where to go. You as a team establish this. Tell the Scrum Master, like I said, get off their behind, go out there and promote this information to everyone there. And if they need addressing, get it to you because otherwise it may sit for a couple of days. Because there may be higher priorities. I'm sorry if the CEO gives us something to do. CEO stuff's way more important than anything you give us. I mean, unless the whole system's crashed, then I guess that takes over. But you need to alert the whole team so we can get people on there to make it faster. Anyway, I wanted to share that with you today. I want to wish you all a happy Thanksgiving. And again, if you know a veteran or you are a veteran and you would like some coaching, I'm offering 6 months free coaching for 5 veterans. I'm offering it through the end of the year. So there's still a few spots left. If you're interested, please let me know. Message me on LinkedIn or some way, and I'll be happy to help you out. And with that, I want to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving, happy holiday for those, and have some fun. Hope you get out and try something different. If you're taking a holiday, go do something crazy. My son's going to be in the Philadelphia Thanksgiving Day parade, so we'll see how that goes. Little 10-year-old kid, 11-year-old kid going through the parade. Be fun. Anyway, so that's a new adventure for him. I'm looking forward to helping him out where I can. Anyway, he's on his own. So take care, everyone. Have a great Thanksgiving again, once again, and happy scrumming. See you soon. Bye.